beyond what I had thought was happening in this country. So far, the success has been amazing. We started with the Innovation Award system. We got so many more applicants than we had envisioned. And that opened my eyes to realize that there are so many innovators in this country, but because we are fragmented and they don't have a support system. Now the exhibition is even consolidating that. We have made a lot of ground in this nation. What we need now is us as government to really consolidate these efforts, put in place support systems and funding and mechanisms to really support these innovations. Like I've just seen different people trying to work on vehicles. I encourage those people to start innovation, but they reach a point where they cannot move on their own. So the creation of this, what you see here as cities, we call them the economies, is really going to fast track, provide further training for these innovators, mentor them to move from this level to bring their innovations into an industrializable form, and then from there they will be able to move on to building businesses.
We've talked about funding. There is a document making rounds on social media that there was mismanagement of 50 billion shillings in your ministry. What do you make out of it?
It's just because people don't understand science. People don't understand the process of science. If you ask any of these innovators how many years it has taken them to come from the thought and the work and the many failures, the work is going on, except that it's going on behind the doors. And especially in that particular field, we don't talk all the time what is happening, because it is not only, it's not safe for you to keep talking, both in terms of your intellectual property, but it is also not safe physically, because scientists need to be protected. But the people who need to know. The president knows where the money has gone. He has even participated in procuring for us some chemicals which we are not. The president knows where each of that money has gone. And the Auditor General, all those people have done the audits. And anyway, the permanent secretary who was in charge of that money is the Minister of Science, the former Minister of Science. I, as a technical person, I wasn't allowed to touch any money, and I don't touch any money. So,
what is Uganda's status in making its own vaccine? Just to give us an update.
Oh, we have made a lot of progress. Actually, I think in Africa, Uganda is the most advanced country in making our own vaccines from scratch. We don't have a rival. There are countries that have brought vaccines from elsewhere and just did the final production. But in terms of scientists sitting down, designing, thinking, working, we are soon starting the first phase of clinical trials in humans with one of our vaccines. So we have made tremendous progress, given that we started just last year.
My media friends, since we are moving around, this is Mobility City. Let us see Mobility City.
Listen to
the mayor. Listen to the mayor.
But you need us as well. Let us cover, we're going to cover everything.
Kati mu Uganda.
Waliwo ekiwandiiko ekiri mu kutambula ku social media nga kiraga nti nno olina ssente ezaabula.
Nze musenero sisobola kubba ssente era sibbangako ssente, naye ndowooza kiva mu bantu obutategeera ebintu bya sayansi nga bwe bitambula, naddala mu sekita eyo gye twogerako, pathogen economy. Tebiringa bino bya mmotoka obiraba, naye bibeera mabega eyo mu laabu tetubakkiriza na kuyingirayo, bannasayansi bali abakugu bokka be bagendayo, naye nga ekisooka tewali ssente yabbibwa, oba bwe ziba zabbibwa sinze, kubanga nze sikwata ku ssente, ndi muntu ali technical. Ssente ziyita permanent secretary era Ministry of Science ye yali responsible mu nsasaanya y'essente ezo, nze sakwata ku ssente. Omulimu gwange gwali gwa kukubiriza bannasayansi era ebintu bye bakola bigenze mu maaso. Uganda yensi ku lukalu lwa Africa ekulembedde mu bantu bafa original okuyiiya vaccine ezaffe ne tutandika okuziisa mu matendera. Kati vaccine emu tuvudde ku stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6, kati tuli ku stage 7. Endala tuli ku stage 5. N'endala 2 ziri awo ku stage 4. so vaccine gye ziri naye abantu basuubira nti ng'omu yagamba nti yajja ku ofiisi yange n'atasangawo test tube. Vaccine tetuzikolera mu ofiisi. Vaccine tuzikolera mu laabu eyo. Laabu ezo tetukkiriza na muntu wa bulijjo kuyingirayo kubanga bintu biri sophisticated nnyo. Naye nga President abimanyi, buli omu akimanyi. Ssente zino bwe zisaasaanyizibwa buli omu akimanyi. Nze siri accounting officer. Ndi tekiniko era sikwatanga ku ssente ezo nti nagikwatako mu ngalo zange. Tukyategeka bwe tugenda okufulumiza grade eyo gye tuteeka mu bantu kale tusuubira mu mwaka ogujja 2022 nga gutandiika awo tujja kubanga tutuseewo. Kati science ono naddala wano tuli ku mobility tuli ku city eno kansuubire nti mujja kubanga mukyaliwo tutambule ne ku city endala eno city tugiyita mobility city. Kati exhibition eno tukikoze mu cities kubanga buli city eraga abantu nga bwe batambudde. Kati olaba waliwo okuyiiya kungi banagu Uganda bayiiya era nze kati nkikakasa nti mu myaka egijja 5 tujja kubanga tuli ku misinde za tekinologiya kufuluma mu Uganda muno kubanga abaana bayiiya babadde babulamu kwatagana n'abanasayansi kubayambako n'okubayamba okufuna ensimbi ezibatambuza ne batambuza ekintu kyabwe n'okuteekawo enkola nga eya factory gye basobola okukolera okwongerako ku magezi. Kati ebyo tubitegedde nze kino kinsuuseeko mbadde sikimanyi nti tulina helikopita eyo tulina motoka ze tuyiyiza wano abaana bayiiya. Bana Uganda bwe tukwatira awamu ffena tuwagire ekintu kino ffena tutambule tulema okweza mu ebyo mu baba sente si buli omu alaba sente ayagala kuziba.
Kale bannaffe tugenda kubeerayo bannamawulire mumpe akadde tukamutuliganira
katutambule mangu tuyitewo katolaba kati baasi eri gye navuga juzi
honorable minister ogenda kujja wano ovugemu tukole salute
ate mwagala nvuge
ojja kolamu ka salute wali mu maaso. Yes, sir. Please come.
Wavuga bulungi nnyo certificate tugenda kukwatako samwe. Is it very fast?
But there are other buses as well. Yeah. All these buses are doing a salute.
Yeah.
Can the media team come out so that the minister can do the salute? We capture her from outside. Please come out.
Okay, I want close.
Media people, come out. Media people. You take a picture. The window is open. Take a picture.
Yeah.
Take a picture from outside. Take a picture from outside. Okay. She's just going to drive. She's not saying anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Honourable Minister taking a ride in this bus. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Mobility City. Only accept our very own. You've got supplies. Some supplies don't even.
Right there, Minister, for the picture.
This is the drive of the year. Who is Joe? He's in the car. Oh, okay.
Honorable Minister, we can now move for the charger.
Thank you, thank you. This
Honorable
is
Minister,
made
this
in
side.
Uganda. Okay. Now I oh, this new one.
Yeah, the new one. So, Fred, very briefly, again to the Honorable Minister.
Yes,
You need to be here and tell us what goes on here.
yes, good afternoon, Minister. So this is the portable charger, which we are going to be using for charging the electric buses, the one that you've just driven.
We want the
So-
Honorable Minister to be given the gun so that the media can show her.
Yeah, so to use this charger, you'll be needing this card. So once you have this card, it has a near field communication. Once you put it here, it will show you that you authenticated, and then you can start using the charger.
Okay.
So you pull out the gun.
So the Minister should hold the
You
gun.
can hold the gun.
And Minister, if you could stand here. Stand right here holding the gun.
So I can charge the bus now,
Yeah.
or the, whatever I'm charging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the plug that you put in the bus.
This one here.
Yes.
And how long does it take to charge?
This one does 2.5 hours. It's a 120 kilowatt.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have a 200 kilowatt which takes 1.5 hours to charge the bus. Yeah.
So this is Chira.
Yeah.
And we will be making this and position.
With Cosmos. With Innovex, we should be able to make it locally. Yeah.
So this is the value chain, because without this, you can the buses can't move serious.
Absolutely. The ecosystem that powers up the buses. So let us
Okay.
go through this side.
Trying to see how my boss.
Here,
The
I just
minister is coming around and of course
and then we
getting
continue.
to the school where there is communication with the United Nations. And we want to thank Jaga.
Jackie Arinda is our ambassador for Kiramotos Corporation. She is voluntary. She's a volunteer.
Okay.
But she also does coffee, Jada Coffee. So we set up a cafe here. Yeah, please.
Yeah, you're welcome, Honorable Minister. This is Jada Coffee Store, and this is to show that we can ride on any position in the city, so that anyone who is walking to their office can just grab a cup of coffee and a Rolex or a cookie, and they go. We source our coffee from the local farmers. This coffee is picked, pulped, packed by women. Yes.
Do we have the coffee ready for the minister?
Coffee ready? Single black coffee.
You have some milk? That is also black. But whatever they have made, it's okay.
Okay.
Whatever you've made, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have a Rolex.
Maybe since she's moving, she will have it by later. Okay.
Thank you, Jada. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
IU, and we have border one. And this is our city, this is the lounge. We sit and now get some. The media wanted to talk to you. So this is the place now you can talk to the minister properly. Honorable Minister, you can have a seat.
Don't they want to go? So I go the other side. Okay, this is the city lounge.
So we have 5 minutes. This is what I had wanted to give the press in an organized environment. 5 minutes. We can say hello to the minister.
It's time for the praise if you want to ask a question. So this is a moment where the minister is comfortable and safe and to answer all our questions in the journey. And we can request
Everybody wants so I can take my documents.
Part of the innovation.
Okay, media, when we were out there, I was trying to indicate that we have a lounge where we can have a proper discussion with the minister. So here we are. If there is one or two things, I would like my friend Malik to come and join us, RHT, who is going to be running the Tondeka Metro as well. And the chairman of Tondeka and my chairman from RHT as well, please. So that the lounge is full. Okay, if there are any outstanding engagements we would like to have with the minister, this is the moment.
The lounge ends here, so that everybody can see. The lounge ends here. Thank you.
Yeah, and while you're capturing, don't forget that we have electric bikes made in Uganda in the background. Border work, can I hear you say? Border work, are you here? Yeah, we have border work, we have International University of East Africa and Zembo. Electric bikes made in Uganda. And this is Mobility City.
The goal is really mobility. Everybody moves. Everybody moves. And when there is something, a function that you use, then it should be integrated in the economy. Whenever you see something that is commonly used in the nation, and everything that's feeding that service is being imported, then you know that as a nation, there is something that you're missing. So mobility is one of the value chains that I expect to begin opening the industrialization of the nation, because it's a very long and extensive value chain. By value chain, we mean that there are so many points at which we produce and so create jobs and create value for the nation. So I expect that, and the promise is that in most of these issues where, of course, there has been a big debate, and I will ask, are we assembling or are we manufacturing? Now, you cannot manufacture without assembling. And I think that any factory that makes vehicles or anything, they assemble. Assembly is part of the manufacturing process. So when people try to separate and fragment them, I don't know what they are meaning. So as you're manufacturing, there is a stage of assembly. So yes, we are assembling vehicles as a step in the process of manufacturing. Of course, we are sourcing our parts, both locally and from outside. And because we are beginning, considerable proportion may be from outside the country, but that does not mean that you do not manufacture. And as I've been asking people, does Hot Loaf assemble bread or they manufacture bread? There's a point at which Hot Loaf assembles the ingredients, and then there's a point at which, and that's the process. So let's not get lost there. Locally, we just want to make sure that we build our value chain. We take on the drive that the president has called us let us industrialize Uganda. And I would like to thank our partners who have come on board in a very, very strong way in the mobility value chain, because even if you manufacture vehicles, if you cannot build systems which use those vehicles, then you are not going to be able to give value to the nation. So I'm really excited to be in the mobile city. The lounge is so Uganda.
Yeah, the lounge is very Uganda.
Thank you.
Honorable Minister, welcome to Mobility City. In Mobility City, we have so many innovators. You've already seen the gecko mechanics. You've seen the team from Mbarara, which is working on the chopper and a range of vehicles. You've seen Farasi. You've just done a salute. Actually, we must give a round of applause to the Honorable Minister. She's not only done a salute with the buses, but she has driven an electric bus made in Uganda. So from the lounge, we also have the telecast space where they're going to see a little bit of how different routes for the integrated transport management system for urban centers integrates. And we have the cashless system integrators in the back, Sintel. We will first move to their table and then tell you a little bit about what they're doing. We'll sit on the camp, then we'll move down to see the issue of parts. Because we already have people who have done into making parts, and they are going to show you the final part, the part right from the foundry, the part which is being machined. And we're going to see all of that as we tour Mobility City. Mobility City all year. Mobility City all year. Mobility City all year.
I think when you see Paul's excitement, also be careful. The cities are competing. The best city is going to be given an award, so it is not very innocent. Thank you, Mobility City.
Stand.
You sure? Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
It's not on.
It's not on? Okay.
It's not on.
Okay.
No.
I think it's on now. Yeah, good. Honorable Minister, we're happy to host you here. This is a team from Sintel, and we are the technology partners for Tondeka. We wanted to show you briefly on the fleet management system. We'll start with the mobility platform, where you can manage your fleet or view your fleet from the comforts of your home. This is the trip you just took a few seconds ago.
When
yes.
I was driving?
When you were driving.
Okay.
Just so basically,
So that's
yeah, just play for it.
So you guys were watching?
yeah.
Yes.
Because it's rigged with cameras, so we can see inside.
We'll also show you the cameras as well. So this is the trip you took a few seconds ago. We can just quickly play it for you. It will show you from the minute you moved at the speed you were driving, which was a modest 5 kilometers an hour, which is very good. You accelerated at a corner, which is very illegal, and then you came back. So we are able to tell the driver's dynamics, and also we manage the individuals, so that we know they're not overspeeding and they manage the fleet adequately. So this is your trip, just a snippet of your fleet, of the trip you took.
Part of it?
No, that's not right.
That was an interlude.
Now, the cameras that you are in the bus, these are just two of them. There's one at the front, which shows the traffic ahead of you, and then you have one inside the bus, which is looking back. The idea is to have at least 4 or 5 cameras in there. It has to help the driver. First, we have to monitor the driver. Next, We'll have cameras at the front. They'll have temperature sensors and people counters. So it counts as and when you're arriving into the bus. Then at the back, there is a monitor at the front where the bus driver is able to monitor people who are coming in and out as they exit. And then there is another camera at the back for reverse, but he can also see whatever is happening on choice. So this is just one element of it. The other piece is the validators. So you saw some validators in there, but the one we are going to be using is this one. So this is an ACR 330 validator. It has a QR scanner at the back, at the bottom. It also can take on any other card that the card schemes may bring about. It is also very robust, waterproof.
For the near field.
Yeah, with the near field technology. So this is this small symbol you see here. So once we install it with a colored screen, so someone will be able to tap their card or just put their card near the terminal and then be allowed onto the bus.
Okay.
Yes. We also have other technology solutions that we are unable to display, but we shall also be giving them to the RHT team, the management team, with business intelligence, real-time business intelligence, to be able to make the right decisions to manage their fleet in real time. Yes, thank you very much. Oh,
so how much did it cost if I was taking a driver, a passenger?
If you're taking a person for this small trip,
would this calculate how much they have spent?
To do so, but in the in our business model, the business model that Tondeka is running, this would either be a one-way catered under a one-way trip, or a weekly or monthly trip.
So
yes.
So we have the daily fare, 5,000. Actually, let me not talk for them. RHT team is ready to take you through a little bit of that at the next station.
All right.
So a round of applause for Sintel.
Where are they?
Over there. Over here, Honorable Minister. You will follow me.
Yeah.
Welcome, Honorable Minister. It's a pleasure to receive you here on the Innovator Site today. As you know, this is not only a game-changing but a life-changing project that we are implementing for the residents of Kampala. This mobility solution, the mass transit system, is a key component of that in terms of driving, decongesting Kampala city, giving residents an affordable travel option for them to go about their daily business. This project alone has an impact from a social perspective, from an economic perspective, and from an environmental perspective. So we're very, very excited to be launching the project in partnership with our brothers from KMC, who have built a fantastic product locally here, which is something that we should be very proud of. We've looked at the vehicle, and the standard is very, very high compared to the European standards that we see as well. It's very high, very impressive. So we're looking forward to operating these vehicles on the route and serving the residents of Kampala in a safe manner. We want to reduce fatalities, accidents. We want to decongest the city, improve the living conditions in the air for the people of this city. And to do that, I will hand over to my colleague, Edward. The affordability here, we're looking to bring the fare right down for people by about 50% initially. So people will have more disposable income. That disposable income will have an effect on the local economy. This system will become the backbone of driving local economic growth. And that's what we need. We will connect people to businesses. We will connect people to workplaces, connect students to schools, to medical facilities, to institutions, everything for their daily life at a very, very affordable rate. And this is something that we're very excited about bringing to Kampala. Actually, what we are working on here is a pilot proof of concept for this city that can be replicated not only in Uganda but across the continent. our vision is to be the #1 bus operating company across the continent. And that's what we are aiming for. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, just to add on what he said, the fare system, the pricing structure we have will be that you'll be able to pay for a single trip 2,500 shillings. You'll be able to pay for a daily trip all over these areas in this Greater Kampala metropolitan area. You'll be able to pay 6,000. You'll be able to pay 30,000 shillings per week and 100,000 shillings per month. Honorable Minister, just to explain the question you asked us about how we can get 40% of the private vehicles off the road. We are currently, these are the terminals we have that you see there, but at every point on each of the major roads we will have a terminal. But in between these terminals, we are going to have park and ride facilities. We are currently talking to all the people who have the night parking, the private business community, and we are going to convert those also into day parking so that we're able to get the 40% of the private vehicles off the road to allow space for the buses to drive through. You're most welcome. Yes, Honorable Minister, if you pay your 30,000 for a whole week in any 25 to 30 kilometers from the CBD, you'll be able to ride on using that fare.
For a week, yes. Yes, Honorable Minister, you can travel from Mukono, you come to Entebbe, you leave Entebbe, you go to Maya, along Masaka Road, you can drive to Chiriamuri on Bombo Road, Matuga, or Kachiri on Hoima Road, or Buyana on Mitiana Road, and then this is Gawaza Road up to Nakweru. So you can cover that. You can sit in a bus, do your work, Honorable Minister. The buses are going to have the Wi-Fi, so if you're a lecturer like you asked us, you'll be able to sit and continue your work on the bus without being interrupted. Yes, it has Wi-Fi. You have sockets for charging in the bus, so you'll be able to charge and mark your scripts while you're being driven in the bus.
Okay, a round of applause for Tondeka. Yeah, you want to give some materials to the Honorable Minister? Okay. Okay, Honorable Minister, we would like now to go and see.
Mobility City is a mega city. Yeah, it's a metro. It's a metropolitan. And it comes with flavor now. We are getting to a point where we are starting to see the parts.
It has suburbs.
Yeah. So here we have Bakaira. Can you tell us about the parts that you're making? Very fast.
Oh, thank you. This is the catalytic converter. This is the catalytic converter, which they install them commonly these days in vehicles. So we were attached and we thought of getting the mechanism of making new other parts. So we are making these ones for different vehicles according to their specific engines capacity. And these are silencers and for different vehicles and trucks, even for some generators. For display, we have just brought some, like now this one, they are also labeled. Is a silencer for a semi-trailer, and the other one is for a RAV4 new model, and this one is for a tractor. The other one is for X.
The localization has started, so now we are talking the manufacturing. Yeah, the final end is.
They could use that final.
Yeah, we can now improve the process, but the parts are already being made here. And you're going to see more, Honorable Minister. Yeah, there is a piggy here which uses steam.
Oh, this? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the piggy that uses steam. Okay, give the Minister a service.
Where do you put the water? The water? You get them.
yeno ekosa steam madam era ebadde nnyo ng'etambula okumala emyaka 4 kati eno system yayo osobola oteekako wano essimu n'ogenda nga olaba kifaananyi oba oyagadde then kati zino embawo z'olaba ze zikola nga erina obuwanvu bwa fuuti 15 naye nga amazzi osooka kufumba then kati wamala ogiyiwamu netandika okwekozesa nga ekozesa coils ezifumba amazzi ago era kino kyekimu ku nnyonyi madamu onalebo gye tuva okukulaga wali waggulu era ono n'omukulembeze yafuna omukisa yagirabako mu biseera byayo ng'etambula bulungi naye nga bwe tuvadde twogera twetaagira ddala oba tusaba gavumenti otukwatizaako ti ebyuma bifa ogenda kuddamu nga tokyasobola
This is Chairman of University Physics Department. So we realize people are throwing these wastes and they are not of use. They are being used and thrown away, destructing the environment. So we get the waste plastics in this format. We cut them into smaller pieces and then we expose them to a method which is known as pyrolysis, and the unit is fabricated from local materials. When this plastic is melted using firewood, it evaporates and then condensed. The condensate we get is now the liquid fuel, which is here. It can be used for heating and can also be used in a diesel engine because this is diesel fuel. Right now here, we are trying to use it in a stove. If you try to put the hand here, Honorable Minister, you can see. It is heat, it's burning and there is no smoke and there is too much heat. So our next level, somewhere here you can easily feel it. So if you try to put closer, it is really enough for heating. This is going to help us save our environment. We are not so much going to use now the bioenergy, cutting the trees. We can change this and then we use this for heating. But our major task is to use this fuel in the diesel engine. We have tested it with the Minister of Energy and it has passed some parameters. Our next level now is test this fuel in a diesel engine to know the parameters in terms of power produced by the engine. How economic is it when you are running it in an engine? I know there are vehicles now which are using the electrical method, they are using the solar panels, but still we need the diesel to run the heavy engines for our daily use. The agriculture part also needs this when there are machines which need diesel for chopping the agricultural products.
Round of applause.
Pardon?
The CO2 emissions.
Are
you now turning them from here to CO2 in the air?
No. The method we use for production caters for no pollution to the environment. And if you look at this, Honorable Minister, you can see the normal fuel, the kerosene, would be producing a lot of soot. But if I don't tell that this thing is heating as per now, you may not realize, or not until you touch here. And there's nothing like smoke. I think this is good for environment.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Gentlemen. Of course, the very nice going around, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make a special announcement. The COVID-19 testing is still going on. Please make sure that you get the COVID test done. I also want to
Overriding the border
everybody
service
here,
sector.
there's food available behind the mobility section. Behind the mobility section, there's food available. Please, if you're hungry, go grab yourself a plate.
You're welcome, Honorable Minister. As we've been saying, Safe Border is about promotion of safety for the rider. Our major innovation was to see how can we get the border rider and add value to them. One of which was to identify them so that our rider knows that this is who I am riding with. So the first thing you will see is that we have helmets whereby The rider's number is already stated on there. So we also have reflectors where we are able to show that this is the person that you are ordering with. So we have, what we try to do is to drive affordability. So for example, you order on your app, the app looks like this. We have a number of other services that we have also introduced. We have food and shop, whereby you can say, I'm hungry right now, I need to have something to eat, and we can be able to order for you. We have buying airtime, delivering a package, and all these other benefits that we ensure that our customer enjoys. Basically, I don't know if already you said you have taken a ride, so you already know how the app works. Maybe if there is any other ability, anything that you might feel.
Do you do courier services?
Yes, we do courier services, and we have a very big announcement that will be coming up next week, where we have one of our partners, a big partner that we'll have to launch.
I have a client for you.
Yes.
She runs an e-commerce platform and is looking for a courier service to partner
We are very happy to work with you. We can of course engage offline after this discussion, and we see how we can enable your e-commerce platform.
Because courier services is something we need to organize in the country.
Yeah.
Because as we move online, COVID has changed the things, and they are not going to go. It will be actually very bad of us to allow them to go back to where they were. We need to really reduce some of these things, to reduce accidents, reduce pollution, reduce congestion, and we can do that by utilizing e-commerce. So, but the most limiting factor for e-commerce now is courier services in the country. It's the biggest. The logistics is
that one is
too expensive, it's inaccessible, it is fragmented. That's one of the challenges that we have to. So
that is our
I'm glad that you...
Honourable Minister, before we go away, because you know that the borders have some limitations during the pandemic. So what Safe Border has done at Safe Border Academy in Chebando is they are mobilizing all riders to be vaccinated.
Yes.
Because they want, when that time comes and it is said that if you're not vaccinated, you're not going to drive a border if it ever comes. The Safe Border riders will all be vaccinated.
And I hope that you'll start the move to electric bikes.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, we need it to. The Kampala is just not clean at all. It is very bad. The air we breathe is very bad, and that's one way we can begin cleaning up the environment.
Thank you, Minister.
Okay, round of applause to Safe Border. And now border work once again. Yes, border work. Tell us.
Welcome again.
The Honourable Minister is in the house.
Yes, Honourable. So today we can now show you the batteries in production. So you can see from the brain of the battery management system, up to the cells, the cell holders, nickel strips, the packaging, everything is taking place within Uganda already. And we end up with these standardized modules. You saw 4 of them driving the tractor.
Yes,
One of them driving the motorcycle. All of them are the same. I can move them back and forth. You have not yet seen the generator. Then
no, I hadn't.
To extend it a bit. Our colleague can just have a small demonstration, because people always ask us, are these batteries really strong? And we wanted to explain to them that batteries for mobility are much stronger than all the other batteries we know. So we're able to weld and grind and do all the things we need to.
With the generator?
We are now connected to this generator that makes no noise, but it carries the power.
You can see our gentleman here can get all the energy he needs from the inverter.
Wow.
So you can see how we are consuming energy. So
there's a lot of energy going in there.
Just like with all our applications, the whole, the tractor, the bike, we're able to shift the batteries between them. Yes.
Just how many?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment we call upon the digital economy. The digital economy, please go for the test. The digital economy, please go for the test. We are sure right now that the mobility and the valid weight is done. So we need a digital economy, please.
From here, Madam, we are happy to tell you that we are now collaborating with URI to improve the quality of the box itself after the validation to try to go into mass production.
Yeah, I see that one is finer than...
It's finer than this.
So then we go industrial.
Needless to say, the software in those BMSs is our own localized software here. Even the circuit designs and everything, we do them here. Maybe here.
We have the generator, but there are also some free.
So the generator has how many batteries?
It can carry 2 right now. So this is 9 kilowatt hours, 9 Yaka units of backup, which you can move with in this generator. Yes. But in terms of energy systems, we do 5 kilowatt systems up to 30 kilowatt systems for residential, for commercial. Here you can see actually the walking tractor. We're running a field pilot in Apache. So already there the electric tractors are opening soil, but we have now upgraded to the 4-wheel tractor. I think you have seen the other side. These we have taken on some grant money though, because the agricultural ecosystem, to make it, let me say, financially sustainable takes more effort. So we are focused on battery manufacturing such that we can scale it in Uganda, for Uganda and East Africa.
We also do the recycling. That means when the batteries get old, we have used this to do power banks. These are actually for the Honorable Minister. Yes, please, since you're present. So the power bank and the torch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The reward you are giving me is a lot of happiness. That's the biggest.
Professor, this is yours from Karamojong.
When I went to Kidepo, you didn't meet me there.
I was in Nabila.
So we are going to stand here. So we have e-bikes made in Uganda, and they are going to give the Honorable Minister a salute. On 1, 2, 3. You ride and you come back. One of them is a lady.
She's very careful.
Yeah, that is very clear.
She's very careful to make sure she doesn't knock anybody. They are quiet.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, shall we give them some sound? We want passengers.
A round of applause for the e-bike salute. Can you come and pause right here? Okay, how do you want? Okay, you go through a bit. You go through. The lady, can you come a little bit in front?
Just okay, a second.
Just give us a second. Thank you. Okay, the mayor, the honorable minister, and the e-bikes.
The mayor of E-City.
Yeah, the mayor of Mobility City. Let me take that again. The honorable minister, Honorable Dr. Monica Masanza Musenero, the mayor of Mobile City, and the e-bike salute. A round of applause, colleagues. Okay. So let us see what Zembo is doing. Zembo is more of an energy infrastructure company, which is manifesting in the motorcycle. Let Daniel tell us what they do.
I see them transforming the rural energy services.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I just come pick a battery gun, light my house when it's finished.
And that's basically what we do. So right now we do 3 different things. We are importing and assembling the motorcycle here. So you see all the parts. We just left our nuts and bolts at home. The rest is here. So we assemble those beautiful motorcycles out of it and do the financing for our Boda drivers.
I've already driven this one. So
Yeah. Yes,
it is
a
all over the
professional.
world.
Yeah. But now what is more important and where we see the future of our company is the charging infrastructure. So right now over there, if you can make a little space, we see a prototype of a swapping cabinet. Right now this is a manual work, what we do on our stations, but in the future we want to secure the payments and everything and automate it. And
So this will be like a battery vending machine.
Yeah. This is a battery vending machine in the end, who can charge the battery and as soon as it's full, unlocking it to the next customer. and maybe by coincidence, Abdullah, please join us quickly here. By coincidence, one of my drivers, who is now on a Zembo bike since 3 months, joined us today to see the exhibition. Maybe you can also give a couple of words, not from me as a founder perspective, from your side being on the Zembo Storm.
Yeah, it's okay.
On the road.
Abdullah, go ahead. Please tell us your story on the experience of using this energy infrastructure to enhance mobility.
I'm very grateful to be here, Madam, Honorable Minister. But unfortunately, I'm begging you, Madam, to use a local language, Uganda.
It's okay.
Ndi musanyufu okubeera wano ku kintu kye nabadde sitegedde. Baddeko ne mukwano gwange nga tuzze ku Nangamuntu wali ne tuyitirako mu Bubu. Kinsanyusizza okulaba nti kampani yange gye nakyuzinga nga driver okumala akabanga nga neetegereza Zembo okubasanga wano. Era nenzija ne ntuukako ku mudaala gwabwe ne nkusangawo Oweekitiibwa Madamu. Ndi musanyufu ne Zembo okusinziira ku bbanga lyemmazeeko nga nvuga ku piki. Nazuula Zembo ngizuddemu ebintu bingi nnyo naddala ekisinga obukulu kidda mu nsawo. Piki eyo tugivuga bbanga lyonna lyenjibuze sigiteekangako ku service. Terina service gyeyokola, etambula bulungi. Nkozesa bwe mba neetaze bulungi nnyo mu Kampala n'emirirwano n'enkola to my best day. Nkozesa battery like nga 4 ku 3. Of which nti bwe mba nkozesa momope bakuba tulina enkola eya momope. Nti bwe mba nswapinga battery ntwala nkozesa momope yange nenswapinga by mobile money. Kidependinga ku percentage ya battery. Sigirinda ku draininga kuggwako mbambe tikintwalira ne bwe mbeera n'omusaabaze wange ntuuka wali nga bajjamu banteeramu ejjudde nga bambiiringa mbeera wakati wa 1,000 mu 2,000 mu the worst senga ebe draining nze to 0 mba nkozesa 3,000 nga mu 9 something.
Gwakola mu sente mmeka?
Roughly kuba kye nasooka okwawula nti nsaving where I use 4 batteries a day. Singa mba nkozesa amafuta mba nkozesa emitwalo 3 something. So nsaving emitwalo like 2 ku 2.5 or a day. Nikino ekya service nti after these days nkole service sikola service. Ate ekyomukisa omulungi era kye nasanga mu Zembo nti for the 2 years, first 2 years nga nkyagivuga ekikwatagana ne mechanism naddala mu masannyalaze bakikola freely. Tebakutwala babwe bange erina ekintu nga kyamaanyi ye tekintuukangako naye according to experience ku bannange bw'ebanga osanze nti kiri mu masannyalaze nga kinaakutwalira obudde toluuzinga time yo babeera ne spare bike gy'osobola okutwala n'okozesa eno ne bagifittinga bwe bamala ne bakukubira definitely kyekyo madamu.
And right now, where we are standing, so we have 200 motorcycles operating right now in Kampala.
A round of applause. 200 electric motorcycles on the road.
We have currently 21 charging or battery swap stations within the greater Kampala area. I hope this evening we can announce number 22. Zanjis should open, which is the first station leading us to Masaka. Together with our partners of Prio and GIZ, we are building a complete off-grid corridor to Masaka.
So I can pick a battery anywhere?
In PG, Buama, Lukaya, and obviously also Masaka town. For this, we have currently invested 1.5 million into the country and are employing 55 staff, which is a growing number and also helps us as we assemble here to create new skills. Ponciana, for example, one of my colleagues who joined us 2019, November 2018 already, started as service personnel on the station, but he has a background in electricity and is now one of the technicians and assembler for the motorcycle. So we really can create and transfer skills here. We are now starting to get the 3rd generation of technicians within our staff, So that's very good to see how those skills are built here on ground, on the motorcycle and on the charging stations.
Round of applause. You're from Boama?
No, I am from, my Ugandan village is Machindia, but now I relocated to Janja.
Okay, Janja.
Janja, yes.
Okay.
And as I know, as scientists, you're always looking for a good read. And maybe also for the professor. I know professors always like to read. That's you will also get one. This is from one of our donors who captured our story. But basically a year ago it stopped. But you see a little bit of the background, how we started and why we started it.
You know, I was watching the show.
Oh, you watched the show?
I know I had I ended at intellectual property. I will continue. I arrived here. So,
I see.
Is this story part of that?
Yes,
show?
it is. It was captured as part of the show. Yeah.
So now let us move to.
Thank you. And keep innovating, keep thinking.
Definitely.
Improving them. And giving men like him hope.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we wake up every day.
Yes.
So let us look at the International University of East Africa. But before we have a comprehensive discussion here, you know, in Mobility City, we had neck-to-neck competition between the electric bike and the electric charger. So allow me to introduce to you the two competitors who went neck-to-neck and gave our competition a lot of vitality and fire. International University of East Africa. Gloria and Ian. Gloria, you come so that the Honorable Minister can also see you. Yeah, and now they are no longer enemies. The competition is done. So, can you pose with the Honorable Minister? Please come out so that the two competitors pose with the Honorable Minister and we show the world
It's usually good to have
that we have to compete. And when we are done with the competition, we get back to work together.
From each other, we work together.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe we come this side. Minister in the middle. The minister in the middle. Yeah. How are you? Please cover these ladies on my right as well.
Private sector foundation.
Private sector and the private Kajingo.
No. She's a board member. Private sector foundation. Yes. Wow.
Cover me too, please. Don't leave me out.
This has made all my stress worth.
Okay, now, are you? Please tell us.
Okay, thank you.
You first come and greet these ladies.
And before Agaba says anything, when I took over as minister, when I'd just been appointed, I undertook to meet the staff who are in the former ministry. And I didn't know them, but I was meeting them in batches on Zoom. And when he was talking, he talked about this motorbike. I was like, well, okay. So I kept saying that, and I think I sent you.
Yeah. You sent it to me, and
this is the kind of thing that we want. And I actually asked Kasigwa, who sent me your number, because I didn't know any of them. But you stood out to me because you are focused on innovation. You focused on it, and I captured that from the Zoom meeting, so I wanted you to know.
And right now he's a rock star, the whole world knows him. Yeah, he has been on the talk show, he broke down house. Yes, Edwin, tell us what you're doing here. We are all very excited. And I'm going to come back and talk to you. I want to manage to use this particular capital. I want to buy 25% stake.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, and thank you, the Mayor of the Mobility City. This is a 5-year program, which has been running around in its 6th year now. And the focus, one primary and one objective was the engineering design. The engineering design of a modern electric motorcycle, which can substitute the existing internal combustion engine motorcycles. So our job, first of all, in the last 5 years, in the last four prototypes we have done, is doing the engineering design. So this is the commercial prototype. This is a semi-assembly component of the chassis. And the reason I brought this one, because we are building it, the reason I brought it here is show you the component parts, the second objective of the project, which is component manufacturing of what we are doing ourselves. This chassis frame, the entire chassis frame, this one, the only thing we are not going to be doing ourselves is only the shock absorber system. But the rest of the frame, from the battery rack, to the entire chassis, the luggage rack, to the seat rack, to the stands, all these chassis, 90% we're going to do it ourselves here in Uganda. So we're only going to be adding these shock absorbers and
which we will localize.
Yeah, with time. Yes, we shall be able to. The second aspect we do ourselves is the seat. This seat, the leather. We do it here. We have people who are doing it. We get it locally, and the foam, the mattress foam. We also get it here and cut it to make the seat, which we install in the seat. We do it here. Also the battery covers, both the top and inside the covers, we also do them ourselves, the designs, and we can produce them ourselves. Then the tires of the bike, also we have a local manufacturer already, both the tires, both the front and the back tire. The front tire it's already on the market, locally made here. We have given them the design for the back tire. They are tubeless tires. And it's also going to be made from the plants in Namande, the manufacturer for the tires.
Where do you get the raw materials for the tires?
It's a Chinese plant, which is bringing in semi-finished raw materials, then to make. The battery itself, our focus of the research was on
Introducing Learn From Home Data Bundles. Customized bundles for you and your family to study or work seamlessly from the comfort of your home. Use any of these affordable data bundles to connect to your MiFis, routers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones while avoiding unwanted internet exposure and ensuring